Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel where we discuss life, relationship, business, and self related coaching topics. We also look at mental health issues as well. If there's something you'd like to see discussed, please subscribe, like, comment on the channel, and we can see what we can do about getting some more valuable information for you. We try to be here as often as we can. I know I've had some delays in what was there or has been there over the last week or so. My schedule has been different, and I had a few health setbacks, but hopefully we get back to a better schedule over the next week or so. Anyway, this conversation is about self-care and the signs that you are engaging in decent self-care for yourself. Obviously, self-care is about oneself, so it's going to be different for every person, but there are some markers along the way to be able to keep in mind how to take care of yourself well in a very meaningful and consistent way. If you're looking to develop better habits around the issues of self-care, it's important to work with somebody who understands how to set habits, and I do that on a regular basis with people that deal with things like depression, anxiety, and or bad habits. I love helping people to kind of rewire their brains towards that end. So if you are looking for a coach in that area, please feel free to reach out. You can do that through a couple of ways: at PO Perception on Twitter and or the About Me section in this YouTube page. We usually can get back to you within a couple of days, and that is useful in that way. The first is they pay attention to their sleep pattern. Obviously, we all want to get the most out of life that we possibly can, and we're probably more busy than we've ever been at any other time in human history, and that can be problematic and frustrating for a number of reasons, including but not limited to the fact that getting the rest you need can be extremely difficult, if not virtually impossible. So, paying attention to your sleep pattern, that is, if you are a person who works first, second, or third shift, finding a way to fit sleep in at a regular interval every day, not sacrificing sleep to the point where you can't function, and also finding ways to get to a place within yourself where you begin to understand where your sleep triggers are. In other words, things that will make you not be able to sleep. Sometimes this means starting a different routine. Other times this means finding a way to ask for help so that you can wind down easier. Sometimes this also means getting to a place of positivity within yourself in terms of setting better boundaries for yourself, whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, you've got to be able to see yourself as capable of getting to a place that truly matters in terms of taking care of yourself properly. The next thing is eating well. So this includes, but is not limited to, regular meals, and also making sure that what you put in your body is something you can handle. So that can be anything from, if you crave protein, then make sure you have enough protein. If you crave if you're a vegetarian, make sure you get protein, but you stick to your diet. Make sure that you're eating appropriate amounts, portion sizes, and staying hydrated on a consistent basis. Make sure you're taking time to eat throughout the day and not cramming one meal in. Also, watching for overeating or self-starvation or self-neglect as it relates to dietary restrictions. Giving yourself cheat days is also another important part of healthy eating, because at the end of the day, there will be times when you want to cheat. There will be times when you want to have that extra cookie or piece of cake or whatever the case may be. And if you deny it to yourself all the time, the chances of binging at the end will become much, much more difficult. And that is obviously not a healthy decision in the long or short run of things. The next thing to consider is boundaries. Know what your boundaries are with people, with the amount of time you put into overextending yourself, with the amount of time that you put into any habits that you have that may become addictive, both positive and negative. You can have a positive addictive habit, such as being really good at your work. However, if it's affecting your personal relationships, it can turn negative really quickly. Same can be said for having one drink at the end of the day versus having 12 drinks at the end of the day. Anything can become a negative habit. So making sure that you have good boundaries as it relates to your habits, positive and negative, and also boundaries of what you will and will not do for people. Do not let a person change you based on guilt or condemnation, because at the end of the day, you won't like yourself, and you have to fight back to a place of balance anyway. So the next thing is limit your interaction with technology. Now, certainly for the younger generation, this can be extremely difficult, and many people who are on the younger side are resistant to this advice. However, studies have shown that technology can alter dopamine centers, especially if one is on Facebook, Twitter, or other social media applications where likes, comments, and all of that give you attention, and or new posting give you something to look at and do the compare and contrast thing. While technology is a necessary part of life, limiting the amount of time you become dependent on it so you don't go into autopilot around technology, and so that you continue to function at the level of um, social interaction that is helpful for you and healthy for you is important. The next is organize your time, chunk it well, organize your space, make sure it's as clean as you need for it to be. Now, that doesn't mean that everything has to have a place, but it does mean that hopefully most of the things you need in your daily life you can find. And if you can't, you take time to organize and be organized. Also, have organized goals and visions for the way you want your life to turn out. This doesn't mean you need to know every step, but knowing where you've come from and your next at least 1 to 2 steps is an important way of maximizing your daily life and daily life experiences. Failure to do this can lead to anxiety and depression and all sorts of other unhealthy mental health related challenges that are preventable by using organizational skills. Next is have a passion and know your passion, and give yourself permission to change your passions over time. What you're passionate about as a 10-year-old obviously is going to be much different than what you're passionate about as a 30-year-old, but make sure you have at least one, if not two or three, things you're truly passionate about in life. The more that you have passionate diversity, the easier it is when you need something to re-spark yourself creatively or emotionally to be able to go in the direction of being able to find something to keep you going during the lean times in your life, or the times at which you're ready to quit because things aren't going the way you planned. Hopefully this is helpful. I encourage you to keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.